Mouse Rebel News fans, some important information has come out about the conditions at Guantanamo Bay. According to information that has come out, Gitmo prisoners are being routinely drugged. A recent released Pentagon report admits that mind-altering drugs have been given to people who are being detained in Guantanamo Bay. However, that same report and officials are telling us that that is not being used for interrogation. So I assume it's being used for torture. The detainees were not given drugs as a means to facilitate interrogation. On the other side, a former commander of the Joint Medical Group at Guantanamo says some detainees were involuntarily medicated to help control serious mental illness, which is a lot different than being given mind-altering drugs. Now, do I believe that there are people in Guantanamo Bay suffering from serious mental illness? Yes, of course. There have been previous reports of people trying to kill themselves while in there. Of course, being locked up for years at a time and being tortured, especially when you consider probably about 99% of the people in there are innocent of any crime, being tortured, that would tend to cause mental illness, post-traumatic stress, and a kind of other things. The things that we're supposed to feel sorry for the troops for. Now, it's known that these confessions or data gathered by such means, even just by torture, but by using mind-altering drugs, are tremendously unreliable, as it came from someone from clearly a distorted mental state. So they're not really reliable as a means at all, and even things have shown that even information gathered by torture is completely unreliable. Now, such information or supposed confessions that have been gotten while these people were under these certain states are not admissible in court, or at least a real court, one based on being civilized and not trying to, well, basically justify the torture of these people. But either way, they're not admissible in court because the statement given under the influence is, well, not reliable, and in many cases it's not even legal. But these are mind-altering drugs being put on a person without their permission. This is not a case of where like they're taking psychiatric medications or it's like for medical help. These people are being forced drugs that are not for medicinal purposes in order to torture them. Well, if it's not to put them in an altered state where they'll answer questions, then they're putting it in them intentionally to freak them out, the same way torture's done. The same kind of experience, except you're using drugs. So you're either torturing somebody with drugs or you're using it to get information out of them. It's one or the other. Or maybe it's both. You can't claim it's not either one of them. It's just not believable. Now, this is not consistent with human rights whatsoever. Forced confessions are not consistent with human rights. Forcing people to take non-medicinal drugs is not consistent with human rights. Being given non-medical drugs against your will is illegal, and it's horribly greasy. Now I do believe that despite what they say, this being is used to coerce confessions out of people. And I think that this definitely does show the depth to which the people who are conducting the war on terror will actually go in order to get false confessions in order to justify the invasions of these Middle Eastern countries that they have carried out on the behest of the ruling elite. And I think it's sick, it's dangerous, and these people genuinely do need to be stopped.